Hey everyone, this is Paul Gale from PaulGaleNetwork.com, and we are just a couple of minutes away from the Nintendo Treehouse Live July 2020 event. I've got my Super Mario shirt on, well, one of them at least, because I have several, in anticipation of this Paper Mario Origami King reveal. We'll see what is shown off today. We know that Nintendo is giving us a new look, updated video gameplay, presumably, of Paper Mario Origami King, and that we're getting a new game reveal of something from Way Forward, and that's pretty cool. I visited Way Forward several years ago, and they were a cool group. Oh, that camera kind of slipped, or maybe it was too high in the first place. Hey, that looks better, right? I think it did slip. Anyways, cool team, good group of people working there. And pretty close by, so that was a nice visit. But anyways, Shantae is what they're probably most known for, and we know that today we're going to see something new of theirs, something that they've been working on for a while, a first-time IP that's a third-party project. Looks like I can actually make this a little bit bigger, right? Okay, that's good. Although that cuts off a little bit. Let me see if I could play with this. How's that? Actually, that's turning out kind of funny, right?
Hello, and welcome to Nintendo Treehouse Live. Thank you so much for joining us today, and before we get started, I'd just like to acknowledge the fact that this is our first time doing this remotely, so we'd like to ask for your patience and understanding as we sort of work through all of this. Obviously, there are some technical limitations, but we're all working very hard to bring you the best stream we possibly can. So, without further ado, let's meet the team. My name is Riona, and I'm joined today by Ethan, who will be playing the game for us, and Sam, who is going to be offering some keen insights for Paper Mario The Origami King, which is the game that we're going to be showing you in this segment. In the next segment, we're going to be talking about an exciting new game developed by one of our partners. But to get started, we have a short video prepared that kind of sets up the story for Paper Mario The Origami King. And while that plays, Ethan is going to be providing some commentary. So please, take a look.
Cool. All right, let's get started, everybody. We are seeing Mario and Luigi enter Toad Town. They've been invited here by Princess Peach to join in an origami festival, but something seems to be wrong. There's not a whole lot of toads to be seen. So, we are going to make our way into Princess Peach's castle.
Visuals look beautiful.
To see what's going on. So Mario's meeting Princess Peach, familiar friend, but seems to be in a slightly folded fashion. Something seems to be off about her as well. Let's see how their conversation goes.
This is what we saw in that first trailer.
Yeah-oh. So right, Mario finds himself unceremoniously dumped into the castle dungeon, and he's got to make his way out. And he's using an ability here called the Thousand-Fold Arms, which we'll see later. But he's uncovered his partner for this adventure, Olivia. And so now they can kind of join forces to make their escape. And as they do so, they're also going to run into a couple other familiar faces. Might recognize Bowser here, who finds himself in a kind of folded position as well. He's not super happy about it. So the three of them now are going to try and make their escape from the castle. They get outside, and they're met by Princess Peach and somebody else. That's right. It is none other than King Ollie, the Origami King himself, also happens to be Olivia's brother. And he's unveiling his plan to take over this paper-crafted kingdom by turning everything into origami. And he's starting by wrapping up Princess Peach's castle in these 5 gigantic paper streamers, ripping it from its foundations. That's not cool at all. So Olivia and Mario and Bowser are kind of left to try and make their escape. Things don't go exactly as they were
Such a good art
planning.
style.
And
Man.
the castle is dropped on top of a mountain far away, and that is where we're going to start our gameplay. Hold on, Mario, buddy, wake up. Okay, Mario was kind of sleeping on the job there. So here we go.
All right. So, as you saw, King Ollie abducted Princess Peach's castle, but that's not all he's done. He's also folded up Bowser's minions from paper into origami. So you can see a little origami Goomba up there. Those are King Ollie's folded soldiers, and some of his other minions have gone through the world and torn these terrible holes in it. And you'll see, I think Ethan did a bit earlier, he's collecting little scraps of confetti so that he can fill in these holes and hopefully rebuild this world that was destroyed a little bit by King Ollie and his minions.
Yeah, and is the camera pitched up there when
So I'm
Olivia
just
was
using
talking?
confetti here.
Oh, sorry, Ethan. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, as the camera pitched up, you could see that the red paper streamer in the background, and that's one of the streamers that wrapped up Princess Peach's castle in the video that we saw. And that's going to be our goal, is to try and get up and deal with that paper streamer.
Oh, look at this lovely little butterfly. Oh, and little something hiding in the wall. So that's another thing that King Ollie has done, is he's taken all of the toads from Toad Town and hidden them all about the world. So you'll notice that when you first came to Toad Town, it's completely empty, and now you find them, you refill them. But now we're in a battle, and I'm hoping that Sam can talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, I love the battle system in this game. Okay, so the battles happen in 2 different phases. You've got this ring-based puzzle portion, and then you've got your familiar Paper Mario timing-based attacks. And the way Ethan solved that puzzle is by moving all of the enemies into a position where he could attack all of them at once, using this jump attack here, where he is getting excellence all down the line. Nice job, Ethan.
Thank you.
Yeah, and he's racked up
Since
all
you
these
did-
bonuses too, which are giving him a ton of coins. Sorry, Riona, go ahead.
That's exactly what I was about to say. No, great minds think alike. And you'll see that using confetti can also help you discover little secrets, maybe reach items like this question block that you wouldn't otherwise be able to reach. And if you look up the road here, you'll see a little Koopa Troopa just hanging out. Oh, I think Ethan, he has something to say about this little Koopa Troopa.
I was just actually going to say, so you folks can notice that, like, as I'm using confetti to fill in holes, you'll see I also will need to gather more, and so you get it from a bunch of different sources, and you've got a little confetti bag icon in the top left of your screen, and you'll see that refill and change colors, go back to green as you gather more confetti. So you're kind of using it and then needing to find more, and it's kind of a fun cycle to go back and forth on.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. What I was going to say about the Koopa Troopas is that they are paper like Mario, so it's a kind of like paper versus origami sort of situation in this game. Oh, and another exciting battle. Sam, why don't you tell us what Ethan's going to do here?
Yeah, so this one's a little bit different. So as you saw in the first battle, he lined all of the Goombas up in a straight line, and that's the way you get the enemies into an arrangement for your jump attack. But for a hammer attack, you want to arrange them in this kind of 2x2 formation, like the Shy Guys are right here. And when you solve the puzzle portion of the ring system of the battle, you get a 1.5 times damage boost. So it's really helpful for getting through these battles quickly and racking up those bonuses at the end. Nice
Looks like a
work.
good new system.
Thanks, guys. It's good to know I've
Making it
got
look so easy.
good support and my buddies watching me here.
I love that little
Great.
pose, that little flourish that Mario does when you get an excellent on the last enemy in the line.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The
He
stick the
mugs for the
landing
camera a
pose.
little bit.
So we're gonna go down here
so
and
heavy.
see what those Koopa Troopas were getting all flustered about. And here they are.
It definitely looks similar to Color Splash, navigating
So there's an
around the
entrance to a
environment and
temple
whatnot,
here that's gonna become important
but
later.
with a faster
And currently
fighting
there
mechanic,
is an Origami
which is
Shy
important.
Guy who is causing some kind of trouble over there. So we are being asked to go take a look and probably solve some trouble with our hammer.
See, Color Splash
As
on
we are
Wii U
wont
was
to
a
do.
gorgeous looking
That's the way you
game
solve a lot of problems
and
in this game,
very
isn't it?
well written. It's really funny. And
Ooh, this
I
looks
like
like a
the
tricky one.
environments. I
Yeah.
like the gameplay mechanic
Yeah,
of
Olivia's giving you a helpful
cutting
hint
into
here
the background
about using,
making
you
invisible
can
stuff
use coins
appear,
to
and
extend
good
the
sound,
timer for
good
the
music
ring
design,
puzzle.
everything.
And I think you might need
Just
to heed her advice.
the gameplay
because,
combat
I'm
a
gonna
little more
start by
complicated.
doing that.
itself was a little
I'm
tedious.
gonna add some coins on, and I'm gonna take a
And there was
look
a faster way
here
how to do it,
where I
but
should move
still
these guys.
the constant
That doesn't look
swipe,
right.
Yeah, so
refill
in,
color,
in the other
execute,
battles
boom,
that
boom,
we've
boom.
seen up until this point, you've seen
It was a
Ethan,
little tedious, but
choose one
it
of the
didn't detract
concentric
from the
rings
game
and
overall.
rotate
Like, it was still a good
But in
game. It
order
was
to
still
solve
pretty
this puzzle,
fun.
You're going to need to do something
You know,
else also, which
that's
is
why
you can
I'm always
choose
hopeful
one of
for
the
a Paper
diameter
Mario
lines
title
of the
because
ring and
there's a lot
slide
more
all of
that
the
you
enemies
get out of
along
it
that
than
line.
just
Ethan is also
one component. You
showing
know, it's
off
more than
something else
just
here where you can pay
the story.
or
It's
the toads
story,
in the audience to cheer
the
for you, and
graphics,
they'll have
the
various
awesome
different
worlds you
positive
get to
effects.
explore,
Like there, you
the
saw that
writing,
cost
the
Mario
laughter
some
that you
help.
get along
They
the
actually
way,
solved a portion
cool
of the
characters,
ring puzzle for
you know,
Mario, and,
some more
helped
plot
Ethan out
development
there.
oriented
They
than
also
others,
tossed some
some
junk at the
more
enemies doing a little bit of damage.
character driven in terms of evolution
Right, and
of
as you find more toads
teammates
throughout,
that you
playing
have.
the game,
Some
hidden in
have
the world,
better
you'll see that the stands
fight
start to
mechanic
get more
design,
and more
but
full, and you get
overall,
more toads. Obviously, they say
the Paper
really
Mario
hilarious
games,
things while you're fighting.
they're all still
and
fun.
actually,
They all
the
still
things that
offer
they'll do to
something
help
different,
it
you know.
gets better the more you have. So there is definitely an incentive.
Probably
to
my
find
favorite is
lots of
actually
toads,
Super Paper
even if you're
Mario
not a
for Wii.
completionist like me.
And that one played very much like your typical 2D Mario game, like, you know, Super Mario
So
World
we've,
or New Super
done
Mario
away
Bros.
with the
Wii,
Shy
for
Guy here,
instance.
and now we're getting a little more info about what's going on.
But
We're gonna
with
have to
so
collect
much
the rest
story
of these shell
and
stones if we want to get entrance into this
humor.
temple. So that's gonna be kind of our next goal.
I
While
love
we're
Super
down
Paper
here,
Mario.
though, I had spotted something kind of
I
suspicious
guess the
looking
least
up on top of these
RPG
stands. I'm gonna
one
check it out. So
of
there's
the
these
series.
cracked rocks here. I'm gonna hit with my hammer, and we're gonna
In some
reveal
ways.
one of these magic circles that we saw
Paper Mario
earlier that's
RPG,
gonna
of
let
course,
us
was
use
great.
the
The original
1,000
Paper
arms
Mario,
again.
not Paper Mario
And
RPG,
I'm
Super
using
Paper
motion
Mario.
control right now to extend my
I'm getting
arms,
confused.
and then
Super
find a
Mario
spot I can interact
RPG
with, and
on
then
Super
fire from
NES
the
was
wall
great.
here. Sometimes you end up
Mario and
peeling
Luigi
away
Superstar
a piece of
Saga,
the paper
not a
landscape,
paper one though.
but the 1,000
For
full
Paper
arms are really
Mario,
fun to
Paper
use
Mario
in
the
specific
Thousand
spots
Year
like
Door,
that.
also really
You
good.
might just see
Color
that
Splash,
later on in our,
you know,
in our gameplay as well.
was cool overall.
Oh, I
This
can't
looks
leave
like
that
it
coin. I
might
gotta
be
go.
a good combination of
Coins are important. Yeah, coins
standard
do so
gameplay,
many things
combat.
With, actually, I'm gonna
Hopefully, also nails
one of my
down
favorite
story
things, which
and
has to do with this toad.
interesting
So
character
this toad
development.
is actually going to run back to Toad Town and open
You know,
an accessory shop.
there will
And
almost
you can buy from him or
always
it,
be a
all sorts
situation
of
where
different
not
accessories.
everyone is 100%
Maybe Sam, can you
satisfied
talk a
with
bit about
every
accessories and how they can
element
help out
in a
Mario?
game, Paper Mario or
Yeah,
otherwise,
we'll
but
actually get an opportunity
you know,
to
overall,
see some of those in action a little
I'm
bit
sure
later, but the
most people will
accessories are
get
so
something
useful. They have
positive
all
out of
kinds
this.
different effects. One of the accessories that we'll be
Will it
seeing
nail every
is called,
checklist? No,
Guard
but
Plus, which
you know,
helps Mario.
well,
So
maybe
in the
it might, but
timing-based,
even if it doesn't,
portion of the
it
battle,
could still be worth
not only do you have to have
owning
good
and
timing
playing.
for your attacks,
Comes
but
out in
you also
7
have to
days.
have good timing in order to
I plan on
block
picking it
attacks
up,
from enemies in order to reduce the
and
amount
am
of damage
hopeful
that
that,
you're taking.
you know,
And some of the
everything is
accessories can
cool.
help you do that.
there's all kinds of
Right.
So
accessories.
far looks good though.
They do all kinds of stuff, and it's really fun to like find them and kind of incorporate them into your tool set.
For sure.
Just noticed a house there wrapped up in the red streamer. We're gonna have to come back and take care of that later. Those people inside will have to sit tight for the moment. Let's see this nice little butterfly floating up there.
It's
Boy,
so
it takes
cute.
a lot of confetti to fill in that hole.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Now
wow.
the butterfly is attracted by the flowers and whack it because it's totally a toad.
We're just flapping about.
Yep. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna make my way
No,
over
he's
here.
flying, didn't you see?
Okay.
Oh, right.
So I didn't want to fight that guy, that little Goomba there, so I decided to run from that battle. Found another toad who seems to be stuck in this sand trap here. And...
This area looks very
Oh, gosh.
intriguing with its.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
no.
Sandwich,
Oh, no.
sandwich. See, just got funny humor.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
gosh.
Hey, what's this?
So,
Oh, cool.
yeah, folks who are Mario fans may recognize this stairway.
You know what to do.
I do. I love this particular one because it just shows you that like the toads that are hidden around the environment are really in a variety of different ways. Sometimes you know pull one out of a wall, and then sometimes something really dramatic like that happens. Okay, we're wanting to get through here to follow the red streamer, but this origami dog is blocking our path. So you know what to do. It's hammer time.
Hit the dog.
And this little
He's a
toad is
feisty
another
little guy.
special little guy. Yeah, he's putting up his dukes, but he's gonna run back to Toad Town as well, and he's gonna open. He just mentioned the Battle Lab, which is a place that you can practice your timing for battles and things like that. So there's definitely, I mean, finding toads, you never know which toad you're gonna find. You might find one who opens a shop or all sorts of things.
Right, we've already got a couple extra things to do if we go back to Toad Town now because of the toads we've rescued, which is cool. Alright, so we are going to make our way from Picnic Road into Overlook Mountain where the red streamer is going. And one thing I love about playing this game is moving from like one kind of wide open environment like Picnic Road right into the next, even potentially even bigger location in Overlook
Environment
Mountain
looks
here.
so
And there's just
cool.
tons of detail, and you're free to explore kind of
Love
at your
that.
own pace and like do what you want to do. So I love that you can just kind of move from zone to zone as you choose.
Oh,
Let's see.
little shy guys.
Some sneak attack.
Yeah. And so Ethan has just found a collectible, which we haven't seen so far, but this is going to
Oh, gosh.
show up in the Toad Town. Uh-oh. Ambush!
I got totally ambushed.
So I was saying that will show up in the Toad Town Museum, which is where you'll find all of the different collectibles, and yeah, I mean, that's basically it. We've got another battle here going. I'm excited
I'm
to
gonna get
see
through this
Ethan
one quickly, you guys.
knock this one out of the
Yeah,
park.
nice work.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, it's immensely satisfying to solve these ring puzzles, get that damage boost, and then do a ton of damage when you get into the attack phase. You can get through these battles really quickly if you master this system. And this is a wave battle,
Yeah.
so you've got multiple groups of enemies that you're going to have to fight.
Oh, Ethan's making it look so easy.
Yeah, you're thrashing these guys.
You know me.
Oh, sorry, we
And
threw
then
you off.
say
That was our fault.
and of course I leave a couple. I know.
One of the things I
It
really love
happens,
is
though,
seeing
you
the
know.
little comments that the toads in the stands have, because some of them are just so hilarious that it's almost distracting, honestly.
Excuse me.
So we should mention that
And,
solving the
you know, like,
puzzle in the battles isn't required.
this is just to show you,
can
I guess,
still
that-
move on.
Oh, go ahead, Sam.
Oh, sorry, Ethan.
Yeah. No, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay. Sorry, there's a little bit of delay that we're working through. Yeah, we were just saying that you don't need to solve the puzzle in order to move on. You can still work your way through the battle, but solving the puzzle and getting that damage boost is really going to help you rack up those bonuses like you saw Ethan get. He got a ton of coins at the end of that last battle, and the coins are so useful in this game. You might think that, oh, he has over 8,000 coins, and, that's plenty, but you can burn through those really quickly.
Definitely, and we've just entered into a battle with the shiny. Maybe, Sam, can you talk a little bit about the weapon that Ethan has chosen to use?
Yeah, so he's battling some Spinies right now, which it probably wouldn't be a good idea for Mario to jump on those with his regular boots attack. So he equipped some iron boots there, which allowed him to jump on those Spinies. Now your boots and your hammer, you'll always be able to use those attacks. Those will never deplete. But certain special attacks, like the iron boots that he was using there, will deplete after a while.
Very true. And one thing that I just wanted to point out, it's very little, but something I enjoy is that when you finish a battle, the enemy kind of explodes into this like giant cloud of confetti, and it really makes you feel like it's celebrating your victory. Just little things I really enjoy. Oh, and here we're at Monty Mole. It's like he's hawking something and wants to know if you'd like to buy it. Aha, so this is one of the orbs that you will need to bring back to the Earth Elemental Temple, which we saw earlier. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Ethan.
I don't know, you were saying the exact same thing I was.
10,000 coins is a
10,000
little
coins. Oof. Yeah, I'd say don't buy it.
Nah.
We can get him down to a cheaper price.
Yeah, we can do better than that,
Definitely.
Mr. Mole.
Well, that's not bad. 5,000.
What do you guys say?
It's getting better,
What do you
but
think, Ethan?
I think we can push this guy further.
Yeah, we could push it.
It's kind of funny.
I didn't even have 10,000 to start with. Okay.
Ooh, 3,000.
That sounds okay.
Can we
I'm
push
gonna
it
say no.
lower?
Buy it. Don't
You're
buy.
breaking this poor mole's heart.
Even that paratrooper can't believe it.
I'm gonna keep going.
Or sorry,
I'm
the
feeling it.
Paragoomba.
E-
Wow, 1,000. Nice bargain,
Okay,
Ethan.
take it.
Hey, okay. What do you guys say? I know.
I'd say take it.
1/10 of the price. Let's do this. Giddy up. Yeah, green shellstone. Yeah.
That's funny.
Fantastic.
Nice.
I wonder what I would have done in that situation.
This is just one example of the many.
So,
I wouldn't have
Enjoy
10,000
the
in the
fun
first
and
place,
opportunity
probably. At the 5 mark, would I? Or would I have
Oh, sorry,
thought
Ethan, please
maybe he'll
continue.
go lower?
And we're gonna,
Probably
we're
at the
gonna
3
cut
mark, I
away
was like,
here,
alright.
And we want to show you some of the boss battle action that this game has to offer. So I'm gonna switch over to that, and while I'm doing that, you guys feel free to chit chat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one of the things that Ethan touched on just a little bit when we first walked into Overlook Mountain is the environments are connected organically into this big world to explore, which is one of the new things about this game that I really love. In previous titles in the series, you had the environments were separated into kind of this Super Mario World style overworld map. But here you've got this big connected world, and it feels much more like this big place to explore where you could backtrack into areas that you've been before and maybe find some of the hidden toads or fill in some of the not bottomless holes.
I like the 8-bit Mario on the floor.
But I don't want to keep talking because we're getting to the red streamer here.
Ooh, yeah. So we've finally found the end of the red streamer that we saw earlier.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're gonna try to unravel this and maybe see if we can get that part of Princess Peach's castle set free. It looks like Mario's jump doesn't have enough oomph in it.
Nice save,
nice
Olivia.
Save by Olivia.
Triple jinx.
In a round.
Alright, so we're coming up to our very first boss battle. Maybe, Sam, can you talk to us a little bit about what's different about a boss battle?
Yeah, certainly. We'll see a little bit more when we actually get into things.
Missile Maestro.
But, you know, in the battles with regular enemies that you were seeing before, Mario was in the center of the rings, and he was arranging the enemies into patterns. And you'll see when we get into the boss battle that the boss is in the center of the rings, and you're arranging the rings to guide Mario to the center so that he can attack the boss. And the bosses are puzzles in and of themselves, so it's going to take a little bit of figuring out to try and see what does damage to each of the bosses.
Definitely.
I love the boss.
I'd love to see Ethan use the toads in the boss battle, because they also do different things to help Mario out, and it's quite interesting.
Yeah, so those are some of those accessories that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I've got like Guard Plus on. Reduces my damage I'll take a little bit.
Alright, and I think the other accessory, it adds on... Oh, sorry, you go.
Oh no, go ahead, Ethan. Or sorry, I'm Riona.
Oh no, it's all you.
No, I was just gonna say
you could see the
it looks kind of daunting at first,
difficulty
but it'll make a lot more
in
sense when you see Ethan start moving.
wrapping
So
around what they're
Mario's
going to
gonna
say and
travel on
taking
the
turns,
path
because it's
as dictated by these
live
arrows.
and it's real, and they're communicating with each other
There you go.
while gameplay is
And he
going
passed an
on from
envelope
3
on the
different
way, and that
locations,
envelope
but
gave him a hint about what he needs to do to damage
they're
the
doing the
boss.
best they can, and you know, it's not distracting really. It's noticeable, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
It happens in real life when
And he
people are
passed
talking
that,
on a
that
couch,
on
you know,
icon,
connecting a
that was in
podcast or
Mario's
whatever,
past,
so
he activated
it's
it,
to be expected
and
in the
that
first
turned
place, but
on
a
those
little bit
magic
more
circles,
now
which
with
could be useful
the
later.
lag, with not being, you know, in the same room as one another, etc. But it's alright.
Nice
It's great
work.
to see Nintendo do something like this again. You know, it's been a long time, almost 10 full months since we've had a proper Nintendo Direct. We obviously had a Nintendo Direct Mini
Now,
a few months ago,
front, I think.
but we've
So I'm
also
gonna move
had
this
some
attack icon
you
in
know,
front,
Animal
and
Crossing
then
content,
what else do I need
Pokemon
to do?
content come out,
Looking at my
video
arrows to build
footage,
my path here. That looks good, right?
and of
Okay,
course
here
we
go.
had
That looks...
Paper Mario Origami
Oh,
King
no.
first revealed, just boom, dropped out of nowhere a couple months ago.
Oh, no, man, okay.
Very good, yeah. Sorry. I
And
thought that
little
was
trickles
in
of
your path.
Paper Mario being shown off via social media, some other games being
Fear
shown
not.
off on, you know, Facebook, Twitter.
I was born to stomp. Okay.
Nice
But
block.
the Treehouse presentation, probably the last one I can think
you
of
saw
was
that Guard Plus pop-up, so
E3
that,
last year.
that accessory that
Maybe there
Mario
was
has
something
equipped is
since
helping out
then that
there.
was a Treehouse
This
event.
is starting to get
I
pretty
don't recall at the moment.
Yeah, he's pretty
This might be
unrelenting
time
with
to
those missile
call on
missiles.
some little bit of Toad help, maybe.
Yeah, you might want to
Okay.
enlist some help.
Yeah, I'm
It
looking
would be
at this.
really
There's
nice,
a lot
though,
more icons
if
on
that
the battlefield,
Nintendo
as you can
Direct
see, and what I'm gonna do
rumored
right
for
is
the end of July
take Sam and Riona's
wound up
advice
being true.
and call on my toads by spending coins.
Ooh, big
Boy,
spender.
999, you're splashing out.
High roller. All right. Sam, do you want to tell us what's going on here?
Yeah, so in addition to tossing Mario some health, the Toads also activated kind of a guideline on the battlefield. So it doesn't show you where you need to go, but rather what Mario's current path will be based on the formation of the rings as they are. And it updates in real time as Ethan was adjusting the rings.
Yeah,
So
very
having turned on
handy
the
little tool for the
Thousand
boss
Arms
battles.
here, I'm gonna get them out and use them in the battle here. So you can use them in the environment, but also they have a role in battles as well. Ooh, my arms are going nuts there for a second. Grab a CLPR, close that lid.
Get it together, Mario.
It's more like me, actually. I think Mario's doing fine.
Nice work.
Very nice.
If you get really good at the ring system in these boss battles, you can set up this really elaborate movement structure where Mario just kind of sweeps the board and collects absolutely everything there is before landing on the final spot that you need to damage the boss.
All right,
Get him, Ethan.
Let's see, get one more good attack here. Nice.
Ooh.
Oh, he got me. All right. Well, we're doing some good damage.
Yeah.
Once this game releases next week,
Definitely not
the
I haven't been hit
17th,
by his color pencil missiles yet, so that's good.
No.
I'm very curious
Yeah, that's
what
right.
does
That's
Nintendo
another
have in
important thing
store
to
for
mention. You can see those, like,
August,
targeting
September,
reticles that are on the
October,
ring
November,
system,
December.
And Ethan has been doing a really good job of
That'll
avoiding
be
those up
5.5
to now.
months of
I think I'm gonna do
Time
one more quick attack here with the
to release
1,000 fold arms.
hopefully a steady stream of games, some blockbusters
Alright,
that we
here
don't
go.
know about.
Close that lid one more time.
Bust out as many consoles as you can onto store shelves.
Kind of
You know,
found a good pattern
right now,
that's working
you
for
have
me now.
A
Yeah.
good 4 months probably before the competition comes out with their new
Right.
consoles. You want a
And
lot of
Legs.
jump,
vibrant, strong,
jump ahead
exclusive,
one more.
fun,
Let's see, I need to bring that
first
there.
party and third
This over
party
here.
games to come out on
Yeah, I
Nintendo
think
Switch
Ethan
That should
touched
work.
on it
before
very
mid-November.
briefly, but you see those icons
to get as
with
many
the fist
new
on
Nintendo
them.
Switch
That's
owners
an attack icon,
feeling
and
the
you need to
effects
position
of
that in Mario's
this was
final
a good
spot
system
in order
because
for
it's
him
not
to
just
be able to take an attack
going
action
back
when he
now and
reaches the
checking out.
boss.
Let's see what everyone was talking about
Right, if that wasn't
Breath of the
there,
Wild
Mario
from
would
3
reach
years
that
ago,
spot and
or
just fall over.
Super Mario Odyssey from
Yeah,
2.5 years ago, but no. As the new systems come out and
Nice
new
block.
games are coming out for them,
Very nice.
you could say, oh, I made a good decision with
So he's
buying a
not happy
Nintendo
at all.
Switch
I've
because
been kind of
Yeah.
there's new stuff coming out
doing some
right
damage on
here,
him,
like
so
right
he's
this
getting out
November,
some sort
this
of
December.
Gatling gun attack
I've got this
here.
awesome
Yeah, goodness gracious.
Super Mario 3D trilogy
Yeah,
pack
something tells
of
me what you've been
64,
doing up
Sunshine,
until this
and Galaxy.
point isn't gonna cut
Oh.
it anymore.
March
But
2021.
I think we're gonna
Zelda
have
Breath
to
of the
call it
Wild
here.
2. Wow.
Because
Yeah,
Good
I
decision.
said
You know,
you
it
wanna
makes
watch
when a system is still coming out with
bosses are puzzles,
a lot of
and,
hits.
we don't want to show you
It
the
doesn't matter at
solution
what
to the
point
puzzle,
it is in its
as
lifetime. It'll
especially
still
because
feel
the game
new.
is
It'll
coming
still
out in just a
feel
short amount of time. Ethan,
strong
when is
and
everybody gonna be
important,
able to get
like
their
a
hands on this?
current player.
So this is coming out on Friday, July 17th.
So I want
it's
that
super
Nintendo Direct.
colorful, really fun, lots of super fun areas to explore.
I really want to see
and
a
paper
healthy
enemies to defeat. So please, I hope everybody will check it out.
last 5 months of this year.
Yeah, awesome. So thank you so much,
And a little sneak
Riona,
peek of
and thank
2021, you
Ethan.
know?
And as we head out, we're gonna play the announcement trailer one
All
more
right, here we
time
go.
for those of you who might have missed it, and also because the announcement trailer does a really good job of highlighting some of the various environments that this adventure will take you that we couldn't hope to show you in just a single Treehouse Live segment. So
Thank you again for joining me,
stay tuned
everyone.
for that. And right
Let's
up,
check out
and
Way
coming
Forward's
up, we're going to be taking
new
a look
game.
at a brand new game. So stick around. Thanks, everyone.
So we're gonna see Paper Mario, the Origami King, one more time. And then something brand new from Way Forward. A project they're working on that's a third-party game, but their first time tackling it. It was important enough to announce ahead of this Paper Mario Nintendo Treehouse Live event. So it makes me wonder, is it going to be an exclusive, possibly, to Nintendo Switch? A timed exclusive? Is there something that we're going to see where it's like a Mario Rabbids situation, third party mixed with a Nintendo first party? Why so much attention, you know? Like if it was a Nintendo gave them the go-ahead of like, alright, do a 2D Zelda adventure game, do a 2D Metroid game, or Donkey Kong, or something new like that. I would see why they would be promoting it yesterday into this morning. But surely there's got to be something to it. I don't know. I'm excited. And is it of an existing popular third-party franchise or something that's well, I guess that's probably the case. I mean, it could have been, you know, a brand new third-party game that some company was in development, had in development, that they decided to give to Way Forward to create. And this Metroid tease, come on now! He showed off the same trailer now. This was how we first saw the game. Really? Come on! What's with Metroid? What's with Samus Aran there? See, that would be a perfect segue if they're like, alright, Way Forward is doing 2D Metroid. Super Metroid for SNES, remade in modern visuals, whether it's sprite-based or, you know, 2D animated look, hand-drawn. I would totally get that. But now, I guess we're waiting to see, where's this Way Forward title? Is it a different video? Yeah, please note that Way Forward's new title, featured in Nintendo Treehouse Live, is based on a third-party property. First reveal and gameplay for a title in a franchise new to developer Way Forward. It's funny because the chat is going on at the same time, so I could see everybody's comments. That was a pretty long event for just one game. I guess we could all talk with each other in the time being of what do we think it's going to be. There's a lot of funny guesses. I mean, damn. How could it not be Metroid? Way Forward seems like they'd be the right folks behind a 2D Metroid game. Could they handle an original 2D Metroid? Probably. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they would do fine with that. But I don't know if I would expect it to be that. I could see a Super Metroid HD or something. That game still looks great. It doesn't really need to be remade with modern visuals, but I definitely wouldn't mind it. It's a title that's so good and visually and from a gameplay perspective has stood the test of time. It's so fun. but to capture a bigger audience and possibly get, new younger fans that never played the original into the series, you'd make a pretty strong statement if you re-released that game with a brand new aesthetic on Nintendo Switch. Cool cinema scenes and flashy stuff like that. So people could appreciate how good of a game it is, but be attracted to that game from something that looks awesome.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Nintendo Treehouse Live.
All right, here we go.
Before we dive in, we'd like to play a short video. This is a first reveal of a new game coming exclusively to Nintendo Switch this year. And right after, we'll see live gameplay and dig into some of the deep battle mechanics the game has to offer. So please, take a look.
The ultimate Bakugan brawl. It's not what I thought it was going to be.
Hey, welcome back. So, Bakugan Champions of Vestroia. Let's introduce everyone. I'm Sam, and I'm here with Tyler from Nintendo, and two special guests.
Everyone?
We've got Steve. Hey, Tyler. We've got Steve Robert from Spin Master. Hey, Steve. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, brothers.
And we've got Kenny Ilko from WayForward, one of my absolute favorite developers. And we'll want to shout out a special thanks to publisher Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment. So Kenny and Steve, thank you, welcome, and let's see the game. Let's jump in.
All right. Let's go over some features first. In Bakugan Champions of Vestroia, you are the hero in an epic action role-playing game with an original story expanding on the hit TV series and toy franchise. We've designed a unique, real-time, and turn-based brawling system offering pick-up-and-play ease and layers of strategy to discover.
Oh,
There's plenty of depth in our game,
that's
including
kind of
faction resistance, increasing your
interesting,
Bakugan stats,
but not
speed, and
entirely
game progression.
unexpected.
Plus, you can selectively modify up to 4 special ability slots.
Sad to say,
Bakugan
the
on your team
downvotes
before and after
on the
battle.
video just went to like
In addition to
3.1
brawling,
thousand,
which you'll be
and it
doing a
was
lot of in our
previously at
game,
1.8
explore an
thousand.
RPG
Now it's at
world
3.4
across a variety
thousand
of
down
environments and engage
since
in over 100
Bakugan
quests.
has been revealed.
In all,
Give it a chance,
you'll
guys.
collect over 80 Bakugan,
This is
plus
not what
200
most of
special
us were
ability types
expecting.
and
I don't think
upgrades
any
to
of
help
us
you and your Bakugan
were
become
thinking that this would be the game that was shown off.
Did I mention 80 Bakugan? Actually, it's 81, because we listened to our fans, and we're bringing back Leonidas.
I'm not
Lastly,
familiar with the Bakugan
We're proud to announce,
franchise.
in Bakugan,
I know of it, but
Champions of Vestroia,
I've never
you can play against brawlers
seen it.
around the world and online.
Haven't watched
head-to-head
episodes
multiplayer.
or
All right, Kenny,
played with the
let's get our
toys.
brawl
So,
on.
the game, at least on the surface,
We'll pick up
looks
the first fight down here.
comparable to Pokemon Sword and Shield environments,
So
camera
I'm
angle-wise.
basically jumping in a
Talking
mid-story
with
quest
characters.
here.
Comes out this
I
November,
was
right?
sent by a local kid to go and do some practicing before some tournaments coming up.
All right, the brawl's beginning.
Yeah, immediately you get a sense
All right.
for just how huge they are.
Yeah, the scale of the Bakugan the intent was to make sure we kept the epic feel. Bakugan are anywhere from like 2, 3, 4 stories tall, so we wanted to ensure that came through in combat as much as possible. So the combat system is
Yeah,
kind
kinda
of
Pokemon-esque.
to the TV show, as people are watching the TV show and then the toy and TCG. So we're running around here in the high matrix real time, collecting energy cores, which are those blue hexagons on the field. Those energy cores give
If
you
the game is good,
the equivalent of mana.
And it's got a
in, like,
fun
fantasy
story
RPG
and
game. So on the bottom
faithful
left
to
corner,
the
that's my
series,
4
good
abilities.
representation of
Those are,
characters
the
in the
equivalent of,
anime.
essentially
The
casting a
Bakugan
spell.
warriors
So,
are done
right
well,
now I'm,
meaty
getting beat
adventure,
down a little bit, as I'm
plays
talking,
solid, smooth frame
but I
rate,
will, change
and so
course here
forth.
quickly. So
I certainly
one
wish
thing
them
you'll,
the
one
best
thing you'll notice also
in
with
terms
the
of
energy
sales
card,
and
so
reviews and
we,
overall
we bring in some
reception.
tactics and decision
It's not a
making,
game for
just
me
from the energy
necessarily,
cards, alone. See,
but
the course she just picked up
I
there
hope it
was
reaches
a,
the
small
audience it's
energy
intended
which
for.
means it has a lower,
I always
lower quantity of
hope
energy
that
that's
for
going
any
to
game,
supply you.
if it's a good
The bigger
quality
the
game,
glow,
you know.
the more energy you get. So now it becomes a decision of, do I want to get these 1 or 2 close cores, or do I want to go for the far bigger core with more energy deeper into the field while passing up, other options.
It's kind of interesting is like resource management where you're having to collect the
Looks like it could
energy
be fun,
cores,
though.
but also plan what attacks or abilities you're going to
Probably
use.
if you're
Are you going to be
a
quick
younger
to
audience.
attack, or are you going to save more energy? And the strategy
But
there
not
is
necessarily.
really
I like Pokemon,
looks
for
like you won that
instance.
brawl.
And, I just turned
Yeah,
37 a couple days ago. And that's a
Thank you.
series
I was gonna say
that
by the skin of your teeth,
you
you
could
got
also
12
say is
health left.
mostly for a younger audience, but still
That was a
finds
nail
its
biter.
people in its
I had another Bakugan
mid-20s,
in reserve.
mid-30s, late 30s, 40s, etc. that are still
But,
fans.
to your point, Tyler,
Most likely because they
what?
grew up with it when they were
Sorry,
kids.
Steve, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to give a little
I
background.
don't know how long
on
Bakugan has
story,
been around for, but
really quick.
what is the group
So
of
basically,
fans
where Kenny ended up
at
there
their
was,
oldest
in
for this
his last
series?
brawl in a series
What's
of
the
the
youngest?
quests,
What's the
because
range?
He wants to impress this local hotshot named Larry, who's organizing a local tournament. Overall, our story interweaves between a series of tournaments and a larger investigation into a mysterious and abnormal earthquake activity going on in San Barbara's, which is the town of our game.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel like there's a
basically
lot of
where you
focus
see
on
me
the
here.
brawling, but there's all of
Oh
these
man,
other
people are
elements
brutal
going
in
on
the
in the game
comments.
that
Ugh.
you're going to want to, I guess, constantly track on top of just your brawling strategies, right?
The likes hit 34,000 during
Correct.
Paper Mario.
So,
The dislikes
the
were at
storyline I just
1.8
picked up
thousand.
there,
The likes have stayed at 34.
quickly
The
progressing
dislikes
through
have
was,
now reached
hitting on the point that Steve was talking about,
5,500.
where that was one of your good friends. She's telling you about some of the earthquake activity that's abnormal for the area going
think
on,
that
and she's investigating into it, and I think that's kind of where your story starts to unfold
I
for
don't
you.
know. I don't think that throwing in
So now I'm
Bakugan
just kind of taking back
with
my,
this long of a presentation
poster pieces
at
that
the
I
end
had
of Paper
found
Mario
for-
was the best
for
idea. I
Larry.
mean,
Oh,
you have Paper Mario, which is
Homework
big,
thing to do for
and it's
Larry.
going to get a lot of
Pick up
attention.
an
So
item
you
he
have,
lost here at the
here
lake.
is your meal,
But
here is your big
returning
plate.
back to
By the way, we're going to show
the
you something to
combat,
the side.
There's
Bakugan
there's
partnership,
you're going into
them,
combat with a
WB,
team of 3
Nintendo,
Bakugan,
way
and
forward.
then once you collect up the
Obviously,
3,
something
and that's where a lot of the strategy is
special
gonna
was
come
worked
into
out
play
here behind the
between your
scenes to make
Bakugan
this
and
happen,
your
to make the game
4
happen,
abilities
and
that you
so
assign
forth.
to
So
the
it was like,
Bakugan,
well,
which we'll get into a little bit more here in a
it's
few
too small of a
minutes.
title to have its own independent
Something
video.
that I kind of noticed that
A Nintendo
maybe
Direct
others may have noticed as well is that your Bakugan
may not
you're
happen,
actually
or
talking
maybe
to, uh,
too
but in
crowned with
battle, they're
other
so much
bigger stuff that's
larger,
still,
and
yet
you
to
mind
be
kind of going into a little
revealed
bit of
later
the
this
relationship
July
you have
or
with
August,
Bakugan?
whenever.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we need to get this
So,
game out there.
Bakugan are sentient
So let's
beings in the universe.
attach it to
So,
Paper Mario, so
what
at
you
least it gets
actually,
seen
also
by a
have
lot of
noticed is
people,
that
right? It gets
Bakugan
talked
appears
about.
slightly different, not just smaller, but a
So I
little
get
bit
that
different.
strategy.
So,
That was
when
probably the
Bakugan
intent.
are not in battles, as they so frequently love to be in.
Small
They
title,
actually,
throw
are
it into
smaller,
Paper
much
Mario,
smaller in toys,
let it get seen
toy
by a
size,
lot.
much like the real toy.
Maybe there's some
and
crossover
they,
fandom, but
your
Paper Mario is so
Bakugan
wide because
are someone that
you
you're
have
actually
fans of
befriending,
Super Mario
as you
RPG,
go.
Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door,
That's pretty awesome.
So,
So you're gonna build that
Super
relationship
Mario,
with your Bakugan
Mario and Luigi
as
Superstar
you
Saga,
continue
Color
to
Splash.
find
You have
more
fans
and,
of Mario in
change
general,
up your roster.
so it's a very wide audience. the people watching
That's a
these
familiar
Nintendo
face.
Directs
So,
and Treehouse Live presentations,
There he is.
probably a
Uzo.
good
Infamous
portion
man,
are adults or late
Yes.
teens.
So the Awesome Brawlers from the TV show again.
And like I said, I don't know how the Bakugan TV show,
is kind of your tutorial
how
guide.
big of an audience it
Much
has,
like they do in the
how
TV
many
show,
generations
they,
deep
they
of
will be
fans and the
streaming,
culture exist.
Little information for
But
you to help guide you through
I don't
the game
necessarily
and get
see
you,
it
get you going
fitting
on your
in with
strategies,
the
and just your
overall Paper Mario
open world
culture of
experience.
things.
So here
Probably
he's,
a portion though.
telling
There's
us
probably
about,
some
I just
good
got a
crossover there,
Ability
but
card from Larry,
I don't
and
know.
he's telling me how I can assign it to
almost like a
Bakugan.
Nintendo Direct Mini,
And
honestly,
one of
would be a good
layers
place for this
of
game, I
strategy
think.
that you're going to have to consider is that every Bakugan ability is associated to a
But
single
short.
faction.
Short and
there's
sweet.
5 factions: Pyrus, Haos, Darkus, Aquos,
There are
and
certain
Ventus.
games that definitely
So as you collect Bakugan
do a better
ability
job
cards,
at
as you can see, there's 5 here.
this
There's only
type
4
of
there. You know, you'll start to
30-minute,
get,
10-minute,
basically
15-minute
what's the equivalent
presentation
of a mini deck building
and getting
opportunity.
people excited
So you get all these
versus
cards that are
like
part of
people
your,
kind of getting
part of
bored
your
and don't
deck
really
that
want to
assemble,
watch.
and your
You
deck
know,
is
and
really
it's
just
difficult right now
4
because
abilities that you're assigning to
due
each
to the
Bakugan
worldwide
when you go into
pandemic
the
and
fight.
social distancing, the virus, etc.
And now Larry is
So
getting
There's
that's where-
already
that's where a lot of the
an
strategy
added
comes from.
challenge
Oh, I'm
of
sorry, Kenny,
just
go ahead.
getting videos together and making them look
Oh, no,
professional and nice and
absolutely.
clear
Just saying
and
Larry
stuff like
needs some
that,
more loot here.
having the
So,
right
yeah,
things
you are
to
correct.
say,
There's a lot of
etc.
strategies coming in.
But when you have a game that's an RPG that has a
So
lot of
personally,
dialogue,
for
that
you,
has menu navigation,
Oh,
go ahead, Tyler. Sorry.
slow combat
just
walking
think
around,
personally for you, Kenny,
and you
what
add
kind
that type
strategies
of
do you like to implement with your Bakugan? Are you more of
slow world
going
to
in
a
guns blazing head first,
social
or a little
distance
more
type of
strategic on
communication
adding more
and
kind
give
of
it too
fun,
much time,
or
15 plus
recovery?
minutes,
So,
it's not gonna
you know,
grip people.
It's a good question. The Bakugan factions actually kind of draw their own strategy. So again, leveraging as much as we can from the TCG and bringing that experience into the game for the different players that'll recognize. You know,
But like I said,
a lot of the factions have their own playing style. So
if the game is
I
good,
generally
hey,
try
I'm rooting for it, you
adapt
know.
a
I
playing
probably
style
am not
to
going to
the
pick it up
team I
myself.
wanna go in
Actually,
there,
I'll
but
say,
when I have my
you know,
druthers,
I won't get
I
this
like
game.
the balance
Sorry,
of
not to say, not to be
Aquos
mean,
and,
it's just
you
not for
know,
me.
it's things it can do.
But
But you
that's
know,
okay.
if I'm coming at you with a Pyrus Dragonoid, I will just bring an aggressive attack approach.
Hey, Kenny, what does she have for you there?
It's growing. She's telling us about something she saw at the fountain over here.
Oh,
There's a little sparkle.
check that out.
So,
All right.
I've
Oh,
picked up-
nice.
This be your third
picked up an
Bakugan?
Aquos Indius. Indeed. So, a lot of
So
what
now-
you'll find oh, sorry, go ahead, Sam.
Oh, I was just gonna say, now you're rocking a full team.
The comments.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. That is my third Bakugan. So early on, you know, you'll start off finding one Bakugan. We jumped about 30 minutes into play here. But early on, you'll find your initial Bakugan, and then quickly pick up 2 more to fill out a minimum team of 3. And then
What I
you'll
hope
keep
doesn't
on,
happen, because
finding
I could
Bakugan
tell
throughout the world by exploring.
people are not
or,
digging this. The
uh,
people that are watching this, it's not for them.
Sorry, can
It's
you back? Oh, good.
it's
I
not
wanted you
for
to back out of that fight
the
so you can
8-year-old
strategize
that's
really quick
probably
before
into
going in.
Bakugan and watching the
Oh, yeah.
series,
Apologies.
collecting the
Absolutely.
toys, is probably not one of the
Yeah, so you could see as he
78,000
was
that are watching
engaging in
right now.
conversation, they were about to
And
start
even
a
if
brawl,
this has
but you
its
got a
own
sneak peek at your
video where they
opponent's
split it
lineup,
later on
and that
between
gave
Paper
you an
Mario
opportunity
and
to,
Bakugan.
as he was saying, drop
I don't
out
think
and then
the
maybe
audience
rework
that this
your
game
own
is
team
intended for is
to
going to
counter
watch
what your
this
opponent's gonna be bringing into
15,
the brawl.
17-minute Bakugan video, and particularly
Yeah, exactly.
be
So,
drawn
Tyler,
into
to your
watching the whole
question, I
thing
just
because
got rid
it's
of that
kind of
game
long and, like I
for
said,
some
slow
more-
paced. It might be a good
working
game,
on that attack.
but certain games don't translate well to video presentations
Fire
that are,
back to fight,
Pirate
Joe.
Dragonoid?
longer than 5 minutes even.
I also hope it does not come back to bite me.
Like watching menu navigation and
see
stuff like
shortly.
this isn't
I
exciting.
feel like how you're able to switch out those abilities, and I think that adds a lot of depth to the battles, not only in game, but if
It's the same thing like at
not
E3.
mistaken,
Certain
you'll be
games
taking
at
that online as
E3,
well,
and I've been
correct?
at 20 E3s, over the
Correct.
last.
That's absolutely right.
20
so,
years.
whatever team and abilities you've built up through
This would have been my
story mode,
20th
is
anniversary
exactly
and
what you're able to
21st
take,
E3, but
into
yeah,
an
I've been
online
to
brawl.
20 E3s
So
over
there's
19-year
two
span.
darkest
And certain games
that
on the
he's,
show
bringing
floor
into
that
the
you
brawl with
play,
him.
it's like, this isn't
drum up.
fun to play
Yeah, good
because
luck.
it's
Yeah,
slow
one of the
paced,
things
it takes a long time to get into, there's a lot of reading, you gotta
We'll see what we
watch
can
the
do.
scene
One of
and
the other
play
things
and
that,
this and this, and the game ends up being
may or may
great
not
sometimes.
noticed, when I
It
was
just,
modifying
some
my
games don't
abilities
demo
on
it as well.
Bakugan screen, every Bakugan has resistances to factions, so I wouldn't call it a paper rock scissors system by any means.
But anyways, my point, what I was
each
getting to with
faction
this
has,
is, I hope
essentially
what doesn't happen
two
is
other
that
factions that it defends
this
well
doesn't
against,
get
while it's,
so
weak against another
down-talked
faction. So just
and,
another layer of things to
it
think
gets
about,
hit so
in
hard,
private
so
when they're going into
negatively
battle. One of the
by
reasons
fans
why,
that
you get that preview of who
it's a
you're
real
getting ready to
downer
go
for
against,
way
and
forward,
the
and
ability
it's
to
a
make
downer
some
for Nintendo,
alternate
and they're like,
decisions.
well,
I have to
we're
say
not
your
doing this
opponent
again.
had been, pretty quick
See you when the pandemic's
swap
over.
Bakugan
We'll come back in,
between the two that you
February
had.
2021 with our next Nintendo Direct.
Yeah,
I don't think
it
that's the
appears to
case.
not like this matchup, so my Dragonoid original.
But sometimes such a negative perception of,
So in combat,
people were talking
aside
out of
from,
order,
core
they're interrupting
abilities
each
that
other,
you're
the
working with,
social
we
distance,
actually have other things. We're early gameplay, so as
Paper
you,
Mario
evolve
dialogue,
Bakugan, and they get bigger
Bakugan
and
dialogue,
stronger,
just being
there's,
off. It's just
there's other
too much of a
things that-
detractor
other
that they
mechanics
said,
that,
well, we gotta get back to
we
the
aren't
drawing
gonna be able
board
to
and
see
see
here, but, like
what are we gonna
Bakugan,
do next.
Bakugan are passive
Maybe they had
abilities
something
that you
planned,
kind of
and
charge up
instead
as
of
you play.
doing
Those are
something like
special
this
force that,
late July,
begin
well,
making,
now it's gonna be like
tactics
late
level
September because
decision,
this proved
during the real-time
to them,
combat.
fans don't like this
And
method.
another
It
big
doesn't,
one
it's
is,
not
team
working,
attacks.
Now we gotta go back to the drawing boards, spend more time, have something pre-recorded again, but find out the best way how to do that, and that takes longer than a live presentation, So I can see that maybe happening to an extent. And that's also to say Paper Mario good. Paper Mario is a game that I am looking forward to. It is from a franchise that I love. It's from a character that I love. Mario is my favorite character in all of video gaming. But even that presentation, the way it was a little long. A little distracting, but not too bad when it came to them talking over each other / the lag. Yeah, I could deal with that. That's okay.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
But a lot of people are definitely not as forgiving as me, or you could say as mature. And that's why I'm chuckling once in a while when I look at the comments, Because I could be fair and objective and say, this game's not for me, but I could still also say, if it has the right components and if it gets brushed up a little bit visually and does some fan service, I still hope it does well come fall. But it's also too long of a presentation for this title.
Balancing the strategy elements of what Bakugan and what factions you're bringing in to into the battle, along with what you're doing at the real-time combat.
It was probably smart of Nintendo after the original announcement yesterday of Paper Mario presentation coming. That Way Forward will be showing something. And note, it's not a first-party Nintendo title. It's a IP from a third-party franchise that they have not tackled before. Probably a good decision, because if people went into this with like mega hype, they'd be really bad. But it was like, hey, fair warning, Still, even with that, I think a lot of people are going to be like, dude, that's as far away from what I wanted as imaginable.
Collecting those Baku cores
But you know what?
Of your Bakugan so that you can build up enough do
some
that
news,
big team
some
attack.
new game content,
Yes.
regardless
Absolutely.
of whether it's for
And the
you or
later
not.
you
It's
get
still
into the
entertaining.
game,
It's
the
still
riskier that kind of
good to
decision,
see
that the
box art. It's
decision
still good to
becomes,
see
I
that
have a little bit of an
things
edge
are
as
in
I'm on a
development
three versus
behind the
two,
scenes. So I give people credit,
advantage on him, but very soon into story
to find a
progression,
way
you're
to still
going
work
to be
during
facing
these
strictly
times,
3-on-3
and
battles
always is
or brawls.
appreciated,
Well done,
and
Kenny.
I respect that.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a great brawl. Epic team attack.
Nice work. So I think that's all the time we have today for Bakugan Champions of Vestroya. Thank you so much, Kenny and Steve, for
And
joining us and
I'll
showing
tell
us
you
your game. Do
something
you have any final
soon.
thoughts you want to share with us before we head out?
Yeah, I just want to say we're really, really excited to be able to share the game today, and we hope our fans and beyond love playing it.
Yeah, and thank you for the opportunity to be on Treehouse. And we've loved working with Spin Master on the IP, so it's a great opportunity.
And we love working with
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Kenny and
Thanks a
Steve.
lot, guys.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Tyler, for joining us. I hope everyone enjoyed what you saw today. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. Bye, everyone.
See, and that's the thing that I like. Like, you see Spin Master and Way Forward, folks from Nintendo, etc. I'm gonna pause it right there. That'll be the background. That's not bad. You see the people talking. You might be, oh, this is so boring. I don't care about this game. Reading the comments and just talking to people in general. I know that's the feeling behind something like this, especially when it's really not for you. But those developers, they work so hard. Sometimes they might be forced to work on an IP that they individually don't care about. They happen to work at a company, and the company is taking on this IP, and they just have to do the best job they can. And in that case, they're trying to make the best out of not the most pleasant or desirable situation, and that's still a lot of hard work going in. And they want to feel appreciated for it. They want to feel good. To hear the sales, to hear the compliments, and so forth. And sometimes you've got a real passion project where, maybe some of these people, picked it because they love Bakugan, or they're really passionate about it, or they have a kid that's interested in it, or maybe they were interested themselves when they were a little bit younger, and they love the characters as much as you or I love Pokemon or Mario or Ninja Turtles or whatever, right? And this is the game that they have envisioned. So when they love it that much, then to hear the dissing, it sucks. It really hurts. I've been to, like I said, many E3s over the years, and I have spoken to a lot of developers, people in the art department, just the game testers to make sure that the games don't have bugs, too many or none at all, by the final release. Music folks that have developed sound effects or composed things for games, and they all really appreciate it. And I try to speak to everybody when I'm at an E3. Big folks, big names in companies, and the little guys and the little girls that work behind the scenes that don't have the public face of that recognizable image from the video game industry at large, from the fans. And they really appreciate when you give them the time and talk, ask them questions, give them a smile, say it looks cool or looks good. And the thank you that you get from them is so real when they've worked hard on the game. And you could tell, and without getting into any specifics, I have talked to people both passionate about the project and became passionate because that was their job to do, but not passionate about the series in particular in the first place. Both sides. Interested in the series, happy to work on it. Not interested in the series as a fan, but really proud of what they've done. And I've seen some journalists before or after me in a conversation kind of disrespectful, rude, and I could feel the energy. I could see the energy in the people and the developers be down and kind of bummed out at a place like E3 where they're supposed to be alive and happy. And some of them probably know that, like, this game, looking around here, there's a bunch of guys, mostly males, in their 20s and 30s walking around. They're not going to care about my little game. But somebody comes and gives them some kindness, brightens up the day and makes that trip to LA worth it, and it's awesome. So even if it's not for you, I would always say try to be respectful. A lot of people online hide behind a made-up name, so they may be less kind because there's no consequence to being rude. I've always been Paul Gale. I've always been Paul Gale or Paul Gale Network. When I was working for Gamers.com, OneUp.com, BitMob, obviously Paul Gale Network. Before working for any forum as a moderator or administrator, just being in a forum as a fan or a website on a comment section, always Paul Gale, But that's because I was always positive and delivered my comments, my feedback in a kind way. I wish more people would be like that. You could be constructive, you could be real, and you could say that a game sucks. I mean, if it does, you're not going to lie, especially as a reviewer, right? If you want to have a trusted opinion, you have to give people the facts. You have to break down things like the gameplay, the graphics, the load times, clarity of visual design. Does it make sense where to go? Are you confused? A fun factor, replayability factor. Is it a meaty game? Does it feel polished? Does it have bugs? Is it full of clipping? Does it utilize different tools and buttons and visual standards of the time? Does it implement anything new from a physical, tangible, technological perspective? 3D, touch, motion, analog, rumble, anything unique? Voice acting, sound, like all that stuff. You got to be real. But you could say these things and nailed it. It's just not for me. It's just not the type of game for me. Or I actually like the game, like the IP, but these categories fell flat, or these kind of just the kind of did suck. You know what I mean? If a 5 is average, just in the middle. 10 is fantastic. 1 is horrible. Did it have elements of being good, being a 7? That's good. 7.5. That's pretty good. Or a 3, like that was pretty poor. That was bad. That was a 2. Oof, But things could always be done in a kinder way. But anyhow, that was surprisingly a pretty long amount of time of talking for just 2 games. But whatever. Hour is in. I think we're done for now. Thank you for watching. Be kind to one another in general. Try to give people a break. You could say it's not for me, or you could say boring, but I don't know. From my perspective, I try to be more polite. That's what I generally recommend. Think of it as, if you had a passion project, or even if it's a chore of yours, dusting or vacuuming or brooming the pool, or, standard chore, shaving, right? And then just someone mocked you so badly because you missed a little patch of hair in your shave or made fun of you. Like, that would stink, right? That's not cool. If your respective other, insulted you on your chore work, and you totally missed a spot when you were washing the car windows, it made you feel bad about it. Like, constructive criticism is okay in any aspect of life. Be real, but you don't have to be rude about it. If you're not real, people don't improve. So that's not to say fluff up someone's ego for no reason, but you could be kind about it. Even at the E3s, when I'm like, I don't think this game is for me, but I can see the hard work, I still thank people for their time and hope that their project is successful. Wish them good luck. And sometimes I let them know, I'm not a fan of this IP or this type of game isn't mine, but I do like these things and I can see this going well. And if I get a feeling early on that it's not, I have commented in the past. Oh, something happened. I have commented in the past saying, in my opinion, I would put more time into this because I don't think it's polished enough at this state for the month that it's coming out that it's going to be ready or well received based off of the demo. And then sometimes people are very appreciative. I don't think I've ever had anyone that's been mad. If I've ever said something along those lines, people respond pretty well to constructive feedback because they're professionals themselves and they know they have to be at a higher standard, but there's also a lot of stuff internally. Budget cuts, time crunch, demands of studio. Sometimes you cannot express yourself as a developer because you're, not to say it in a bad way, but you're a cog in a great machine and you can only do so much. You can only do your job. So if you have an idea even of doing something really cool and big in this little game or a big game, you might not have that creative freedom, that expression, that ability to express yourself. So, yeah. Anyways, I've been talking a lot. Be safe. Have a good day. And let's hope for a proper Nintendo Direct. Because those, gosh, I've never left a Nintendo Direct not happy. Either happy, cool, or like just full-blown ecstatic, wow, that was amazing. That's kind of the range, of Nintendo Directs. There's never been a bad one. They're good, but maybe not amazing to fantastic. All right, everybody. Paul Gale Network signing out. See you next time. Bye.